The artist Shepard Fairey is a contemporary, living and working today in the state of California. He attended the Rhode Island School of Design, and he was a skateboarder. He created a poster and several stickers that said "Obey Andre the Giant" and created his brand. In 2008, he became mega famous with his Barack Obama poster, which stated "Hope" at the bottom. He used all that money to further his art. Many people call him a plagiarist, however, and he went to trial for this because he used images from the newspaper and other social media instead of taking the photographs to create his art himself. He works with many other artists. This Day of the Dead skull was created with Ernesto Urena. He is a social activist. He wants his art to make people consider whether they're good stewards of the earth and what their legacy is that they're leaving to the future. This mural is Nelson Mandela in South Africa. It was made to commemorate the 25th anniversary of that country's peaceful transition to freedom. Our artwork today will be similar to the Barack Obama Hope poster. We'll be using 4 colors to show the values of the face and make a 2D image appear 3-dimensional. This poster was once the cover of Dog's Life magazine. He created 400 prints and used the proceeds to support the shelter. Anna Sui was the leader of Burma, under arrest for 13 years. This poster was created to raise global awareness of her situation. He often creates posters and donates the proceeds from them to various charities. He's created many portraits and has a portrait hanging in the National Gallery of Art in Washington, D.C. Today, I'd like to challenge you to see yourself differently. Okay. You need to begin with your laminating film and placing your photograph face down. Put a piece of tape only at the top of this to hold the film in place, and you can check your progress as you work. I've started with the lightest values being white and the darkest values being my dark blue. Those 2 values are the easiest to locate on my photograph. So the center of my eye and the whites of my eyes, my eyebrows will be dark, and portions of my hair. I've sped this recording up, but only a little, so that you can see the amount of time it takes me to think about and consider these changes of value. So I'm never really working by coloring in a large area, but I am trying to let my oil pastel follow the direction of the lines I see on the hair or the lines suggested by the contours of the face. I am going to fill the surface of the entire photograph with color. So that is going to include background and the image from the top to the bottom. The 2 colors I have left are a light blue and a red. So I'm using my light blue as a just slightly darker than white. And I'm going to be realizing that sometimes I need to come back to the dark blue. So keeping the 4 colors out on your desk while you're working will be very helpful. as you change your mind. And experiment with how you're holding the pastel so that you can find, the edge that allows you to create the thinnest lines. On the mouth and the eyes, you really want to pay close attention to those changes in values. I think you're going to find that you need all 4 values to create the mouth and the eyes. So I'm coming in now and adding the lightest colors that I see reflected in the hair. Using the Shepard Fairey prints as a guide, I am kind of considering how I want the red, white, and blue tones to fill my paper. So I've chosen that red to white to light blue going across the face.
And my back has an itch. I don't care. Pretty much the way this is going to work. That was
This entire process truly took me about 15 minutes. So I do want you to consider that as a good length of time for you to be evaluating each color as you place it on. Be careful not to add too much of one color before stepping back and looking at your artwork from an arm's length, deciding if that's how you want the balance of the red, white, and blue on your print. Notice that I used the dark blue along one side of the nose and the red along the other side. The end of the nose got a little highlight dot of white because it is the part of your face sticking out the farthest. So the lightest value will help give your 2D photograph that 3-dimensional quality of something sticking out off the paper. Same for the dark line that is going underneath the chin. That darker line separates the neck as being something farther back in space than the face itself. So as I said in the beginning, I'm filling in my background because I want a fairly rectangular piece of art when I am finished. I don't want the head to be floating out in the space of the background. Now, because of that piece of tape, I can lift the laminating film and check my work, and when I put it back, it's exactly in the right spot on the photograph, and there's no confusion. As you get closer to being finished, you do want to take these moments to check and remember what color your printing paper will be. White pastel on white paper will not be showing up too well. Now you peel the photograph off and And with the pastel side up, you're going to mist the laminating film with water. In this video, I put my film on top of the paper. However, I have found now that putting your paper on top of the film works much, much better. Doing it this way kind of allows you to see what's happening.
Worked in the past.
You want to make sure you rub hard enough to transfer the image from your film onto the paper. By peeling slowly, I can see that maybe I didn't have quite enough water, so I can mist it again and roll it back onto the image. If you pick your laminating film up all the way off your paper, you cannot do this a second time. It will not be possible to position it right on top of the first print. Voila!
Okay. Are you done?